welcome back to Elizabeth Plants. My name's Elizabeth and today we are going to do a repotting. So we're kind of in a corner of my house where I've been doing my repottings because I keep my soil right here in a bin. We're also next to a litter box, but I've got 5 plants I want to repot. I've got a bin to put the dirty soil in. But essentially what I've been finding is a lot of my plants, particularly my small plants, are drying out extremely quickly and just dropping all their leaves where the plants around them maybe aren't drying out so quickly. It's been really hard to figure out what's going on, and I've lost or nearly lost a lot of plants in that process. But I think what it's come down to is a soil mixture I used at one point sucked or just like lost all of its nutrients and moisture retention really fast compared to what I use everywhere else. And so we're gonna repot a couple that have been struggling. So you're gonna see some really rough looking plants, and some of them I'm not even 100% sure what they are. So we are, like I said, we're gonna do 5 plants. We're just gonna repot them real quick. Now before we continue, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Ana Luisa Jewelry. If you've been here a long time, you know I'm a huge fan, and that every piece of jewelry on my body right now, with the exception of a couple starter studs, are Ana Luisa. They are almost exclusively the only jewelry I own. Love them. Now, today I'm gonna talk to you about my new 3 pieces because they are probably my favorite in a long time. And I had a really hard time picking in their new collections and new arrivals. There were so many good styles that are pretty new styles for Ana Luisa. So I was really excited. So first we're gonna talk about the piece that I'm not currently wearing, and it is called Rome. These earrings that I am showing on screen now, super like classy. I haven't had a chance to wear them out in like a outfit that fits because I don't go out very often. But I really love the idea of pairing these Rome earrings, which are so beautiful and so classy and super my style, with the next piece, which is this necklace that I am wearing. It's gonna be hard for you to see, so I'm gonna show a close-up, but it is called Beck. I love the like simple line dangly style. I don't know if that has a name, but I absolutely love that. So the thought in choosing these 2 pieces was to be able to pair them. Now what I did not realize is that actually this 3rd piece was going to be by far my favorite earrings I've got from them in ages. And so it's these earrings that I'm wearing. I'll show you close-ups. These are called Malta, and I love them. They're a little bit fancier than my normal casual attire. I'd say all 3 of these pieces are, but these earrings can be worn a little bit more casually than the necklace and earrings, the Rome earrings. So I've been wearing these earrings literally all the time. I absolutely love them. I think they look really good. My hair's up right now because it's super hot here in Texas, but if I pull my hair back like half, these really rock. They just shine so much. So thank you so much to Ana Luisa. Check out the description box where you can get 10% off, and hint, all 3 of these pieces are currently on their bestsellers and sale list. So go check it out. They've got really affordable, awesome, sustainable jewelry. I've talked about them a million times, you guys already know, but link in the description. These are a great gift if you've got any birthdays coming up. Everybody you ever give them to or show them to will love them. Now the soil mixture I am using is a big bag of, I want to say it's Fox Farm mixed with some additives. I've got a little bit of pumice in there. I've got I just added some marine cuisine. I added some cocoa coir. I think that's it. But I found that this mixture, which I mixed it like a month or so ago, I found that it's been working for the plants I've repotted so far, so that's what we're going to use. Now we're gonna start with the small plants. Not worried about running out of soil, but he's closest to me. So we've got this little pink confetti syngonium. As you can see, we've lost a lot of leaves. We've got a lot of aerial roots kind of going wild, which means my humidity's good, but for some reason the soil keeps drying out, and it's pretty barky and pretty chunky, so I'm thinking maybe that's why. But we're dumping the soil out completely. We're not reusing the soil, and we are going straight to the new mixture. We are starting fresh. What I might do, because you guys maybe don't necessarily care about seeing me, is I'm gonna point you down into the bin where I'm repotting to avoid mess. All right, I'm just repotting straight in this bin. Here we've got the roots. They look fine, so I don't think it's the roots. There's like a little thing from the pot that they're wrapped in. I'm just gonna let them go to town with that. We've got this little guy also looking fine. But they fell right off the soil. So we're just gonna add some fresh soil. It's a fairly fluffy mix, so I'm not sure if that's part of what's been helpful. Adding some soil space underneath the roots as to allow for root growth space. All right, so this is our syngonium. Give you a little bit more of a close-up of the soil, if it'll focus. It's not nearly as chunky, and I think that perhaps my water here is just different than in Michigan, and it needs more. So we wish this guy luck in actually growing some leaves. Next, we are going to do my Sumo alocasia. He just dropped his leaves all of a sudden because he dried out faster, even though he's in self-watering. I know this water is dirty. Figured we'd kill two birds with one stone. Clean out the water reservoir while we're potting the soil. But I'm actually going to take the water reservoir off for this process. We've got a root coming through the bottom. So there is at least that. It was completely leafless for a long time. This is brand new. So we're going to be very careful to not break this guy. Seems like maybe at one point we had some serious root rot. I bet you what had happened is it dried out too much, and then I watered it and they just turned to mush. I will not be putting leca back in here. I'm just gonna do maybe like a handful of leca along the bottom, but I'm not gonna go get fresh leca. And I'm not going to even fill the bottom too much. Now we are doing self-watering, so gotta make sure my string's still in there. And then I'm just going to try and make sure that this string gets to the top of the soil. This little guy doesn't have any roots. I pulled off all of the rotted roots. We're gonna plant him, but I'm not too sure if the bulb is still salvageable or not. But I figure we could plant him and I'll just keep an eye on him for a little bit. All right, so we have replanted this one. I will clean the string off and the reservoir out off camera after the video, but he's all repotted. Now some of these, because it is a fluffy soil mixture, after I water them the first time, I'll have to add more soil on top, but I won't know until after this video. Just know that that might have to happen. Next we are going to do this guy. I believe this might be a Preso Verde. I'm not 100% sure what this guy is, but every leaf that is grown has taken 2 leaves with it. And I think that's just a lack of nutrients in the soil, along with drying out too fast. I'm sure there's a little bit of root rot from the roots drying out too fast. Down at the bottom, the soil is always too dry. So we're just gonna pop him out of the soil and give him a fresh start. Now his roots are actually okay. We've got some white ones. Mostly they're just really covered in soil, but not too many of them are like pulling. So we're going to just pop him back in. And hopefully the fertilized soil will be helpful for him. Ta-da! Hopefully this guy kicks off growing. He's been trying. He puts out all these little attempts all the time. This guy was the first. Fingers crossed. This next plant is the same story as the previous. It also looks like it might have some scale. So after this video, I'll treat it for scale, just in case it's not an old case of scale, because a while ago I also had scale. These might still be alive, not entirely sure. But we'll treat them after the video. I'm gonna give them some fresh soil though, and hope that helps. He's in self-watering, so I'm going to be pulling the reservoir out. I'm also just going to pull this out and freeze, and then replace the soil. Yeah, these roots look okay. Looks like he's doing all right. So we're gonna just let him continue to do all right. Pull off some rotted bits. There's a little rotty here at the bottom. It's not too bad. I don't think it's detrimental, but now he is on a shelf with other plants, so after this video I will be examining that shelf for other signs of scale. I found scale to be really easy to get rid of with some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip, and then just like maintaining your eye on the plant until you don't see any fresh ones. I get them on my variegated ZZ kind of all the time. He is all repotted. I'm gonna clean his reservoir out before I put him back in it and test him for, well, he also just generally needs to be cleaned off because I just got him real dirty. But I'm going to clean him off as if he's got scale, just in case these aren't dead boys. And I'll do that after the video. I'll just take a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol and I'll wipe them off. And the final plant is my variegated peace lily. Definitely does not get as much sun as he would like under a grow light, at least compared to Michigan. You can tell because like this is a Michigan leaf down here, and this is a Texas leaf. I think that if I were to put him out on the patio, it would be too much light and he would burn, but I don't get a lot of light in this apartment, so most of my plants are under grow lights right now, including him. Now this guy isn't struggling nearly as much as the others. His root system is also phenomenal. He just dries out really fast, and I think he requires a little bit more moisture than some of my other plants. So while his soil is probably fine, I'm just gonna give him a more moisture retentioning soil. Hopefully this fresh soil will encourage some fresh growth. Alright, he is repotted. I'm looking forward. He's got a new growth coming right now, right here in the center. So I'm excited to see it just shoot up soon. So that guy he grows pretty fast, but when he dries out, he tends to lose a leaf. or two, so I just haven't been able to keep up with how fast he's been drying out. And I've got a million other plants that need to be repotted. I think I've only done like 8 so far, but most of my collection needs to be repotted at this point due to just like old soil that doesn't have enough nutrients in it anymore. What I've been trying to do is fertilize more or add some of this into the soil of plants that are struggling, but the soil is just not retaining enough moisture to stop them from drying out. So that's what I've been dealing with in my collection for a couple of months now. And I've been slowly repotting everything. And I thought I'd show you a couple of ones that really just needed to be prioritized, with the exception of the peace lily. I just don't want to lose that one. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite soil mix for your plants is. If you buy it or if you make it, I'd love to know what you use that works for you. As I found, environment is super influential in the soil mixture that you use, as well as the plants themselves and their needs. So I'd love to know what other people use and why. Also, do not forget to check out the Ana Luisa link in the description down below. I'm absolutely loving these new ones, and I think that you would absolutely love them too. So definitely check that out, and I will see you next time.